Tell your neighbor, sight. You thought I was going to get over in Egypt and get stuck, but I got a word on it. Sure as he sent me out over into a place that looked like it should have been struggle. I come to tell somebody you already in a blessed place, but you so busy trying to call it Egypt when you ought to call it faith. You trying to call it Egypt when you ought to call it blessing. You trying to call it Egypt because wherever the Lord is, there is liberty. Wherever the Lord is, I heard the Bible say. Let me read the rest of it so we quit. Watch this. So he says, load up. Somebody say load up. Load up. 45 and 17. He said, this do ye, leave your beasts and go and get you into the land of Canaan and take your go back and get your daddy. Watch this. Go back and get your daddy and get your who? You mean to tell me the mere fact that God allowed me to get in Egypt and go through what I've been going through and deal with what I've been dealing with? I know you don't understand it, but can I just be improper in preaching just a minute and let me go to Jesus, because he's my best example. Anytime God sends you to a place like Egypt, I come to preach to somebody who got an Egypt address, somebody that got Egypt clothes, somebody that got Egypt songs, somebody that got Egypt friends, somebody that got Egypt parents. I know you say the auntie don't play that doesn't, but I'm coming down on your street and I'm going to preach a gospel to you. There's somebody in this house that God sent to Egypt, but I got a word for somebody in here. The Lord, the same word that sent you in is the same word that's bringing you out. I heard somebody Can I read it again? Read, Pastor. I got to quit. No, I'm almost ready. All right, you ready? Here we go. Take your daddy, 18, and your households, and come unto who? Me. And I will give you the what? Can I tell you what messes up folk that God brings out halfway? You start counting the blessing that's on the donkey. Oh my God. I'm going to read it again. Genesis 45. Can I read it? Take 18. Take your daddy, your household, come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt. I know what you're doing right now. You say, I'm all right, God. There's some things that God already had for us, but we sabotaged our own blessing. He says, you trying to count what's in the bag. I'm counting what's in the land. Can I read it just one more time? He says, I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and ye shall eat of the fat of the land. Now we open in chapter 42 where the daddy said, get up and go over to Egypt, because I heard that they have corn and bread in the... So he sent them from 42, but by the time we get to 45, he has not only discovered that he released a prophetic word that made sense, but he has not only released a prophetic word that made sense, but he got the provision connected to the prophetic word. The problem with the prophecies that we're receiving, if any of y'all like me, sometimes I want to say, God, you know what? I'm good on prophecies right now. If you can just fulfill a few other prophecies. Maybe y'all ain't had this many prophecies. Go ahead. Let me come out of this. That's real. So he says, I'm going to do you the good of the land. 19. Now thou art commanded, this do ye, take your out of the land. But watch, he puts names on the blessings. Wow. You hear me? He said, get you some wagons. He said, can I pick this up? He said, because this ain't going to be able to hold. What I'm getting ready to do for you. He said, as a matter of fact, what I want to do for you is going to be so amazing. What I want to do for you is going to be so pressed down and shaken together and over that. You're not going to be able to carry it in your backpack. You're not going to be able to carry it in your duty and birth. You're not going to be able to carry it in your coach. So he said, since I am the one that know that you've been in Egypt, keep looking this way and don't nobody know I'm preaching to you. But there's somebody in here that look like Canaan, but you're living in Egypt. You look like Canaan, but you're sitting in Egypt. You sing like Canaan, but you're acting like Egypt. But the Lord told me to tell you, as sure as I sent you down into Egypt land, I'm getting ready to not just bring you back, but I'm setting you up for a blessing. So whatever you expected God to do, look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, SOS, slide over some, because what God is getting ready to do, I need room back up off of me. So God is getting ready to bless me. Slide over some. God is getting ready to pick me up. Slide over some. The Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord told me that this time, put up one finger and say, this time, help me preach. Say, this time, when I come out, I'm coming out loaded. This time, when I come out, I'm coming out delivered. This time, when I come out, I'm coming out praising. This time, when I come, I'm coming with my blessing. I'm coming with your blessing. I'm coming loaded daily. I heard the Bible say. Can I read it one more time?
Go ahead.
Ha! He said, load up. Tell your neighbor, load up. That's prophetic in itself. Mother, he didn't say pick up. If he had said pick up, I could have just grabbed it with my feet. But what God is getting ready to do in your house, what God is getting ready to do in your ministry, what God is getting ready to do in your mind, what God is getting ready to do in your heart, you're going to have to back up and get you a U-Haul and load up. Because this time, when I come out of lying, when I come out of sleeping around, when I come out of backbiting, when I come out of begging, when I come out of having no money, the Lord promised me, come out, load up, tell your neighbor, load up. Whisper to somebody and say, didn't you hear me? Load up. Oh. He said,
Oh God, that was stupid.
19 says, now thou art commanded this, do ye. 45:19, you ready? This do ye. We got a whole lot of folk that are doing things that are not effective because they're doing them in somebody else's calling. But if you would just, keep looking this way, they don't know I'm talking to you. But if you would just do what he said for you to do, and can I just release you? Stop trying to explain why you're doing what he told you to do. Because if it was for them to do, he would have sent the mail to their address. But God is a good postmaster. He know your address from I'm trying to come out of this.
Yes, Lord.
He said, 19, this do ye take you. Everybody got an armor bearer.
Watch out. Watch it.
Elder, I'm not going to do it.
Watch out.
Don't make me.
Got somebody standing proxy.
Watch out.
That's why you can't pray your way out of nothing. Because everything you go through, you just dial the prayer line. 1-800-pray for me. And you go back to snoring, and they walk the floor all night.
All right.
The book says this. Do ye take you. Now, Mama Lee, I would have been all right if they would have said, pick it up. First he said, load it up. Then he says, I'm never going to tell you to do something, bro, that I'm not going to give you the capacity to handle it. So he says, if I told you to load up, then he comes back in this scripture and says, take you wagons. Now for me to take wagons, plural, that suggests that I got to hook something up to something else. Everybody want to be a one-time wonder. Don't nobody want to be connected to nobody. Don't nobody want to do anything unless they can say, I did it by myself, or it was me.